Hello, everybody. This is CB Smallwood, and you're watching 100 Days of Making Comics, where for over 100 days, I'll be writing, drawing, inking, lettering, doing whatever I can to further my goals to becoming a comic book artist, to get a good portfolio together, and hopefully have a original comic finished within 100 uploads. Let's see. So I'm thinking a couple of different things. But first of all, before I get into that, let's talk about this image that you're looking at here. And I'm going to try to leave my camera kind of steady on this for a little bit, because right now I've been doing like the kind of like bootleg uploads of my videos. And what I mean is, like, I've quit doing really nice thumbnails for my videos, and I've quit doing little basic editing where the CB Smallwood logo would be down here and all this other jazz, because I really just I haven't had the time to invest 2 or 3 hours into making thumbnails and editing videos and stuff like that. So pretty much I just film with my phone. I get it done and I upload straight to YouTube, and about the most that I do after that is sometimes YouTube will be nice to me and they'll give me three different options for the thumbnail that I can pick from. A lot of times it's crap, that YouTube gives me, but anyway. So I figure if I just leave my camera kind of rolling on this one image right here for a little bit, I'll have at least a decent thumbnail. But moving that aside, let's talk about why I'm drawing this. Hopefully, if I did my job right, you should be able to tell that this is Iron Man. And if you're not able to tell that it's Iron Man, then I have failed. Also, I did not draw the Iron Man of, the movies and, the modern Iron Man. I mean, it could be, Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. It could be Robert Downey Jr. in this suit, but this is not the suit that they use in the movies. The suit that I really like, that I enjoy visually, that I think looks really cool, and he's had a lot of cool outfits throughout the years. I really like the 70s, 80s Iron Man. Where he had these big honking protrusion, metal beam things. He had this little outfit, this little doohickey, and this here, and I don't know. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I've done a few alterations, little minor things that I feel like makes it, I'm putting the me into this version of Iron Man, and before going any further, I just want to let everybody know that I'll explain why I'm drawing Iron Man instead of Wildcat. Okay, I'll explain to you fairly soon. Okay, but let me get this Iron Man bit out of the way. So I'm trying to render Iron Man, and I'm trying to do it kind of my way. So if I was transported back in time and Doc Brown showed up with his time machine, the DeLorean, and I got to go back in the 70s and 80s and draw Iron Man, which I don't think I would do that anyway, because I don't want to mess with the time stream. But assuming that it would just create an alternate reality, and the home reality from where I'm from would be unharmed, I would try to, do my own take on it, just little things. Like I like to put grooves and stuff like that into the helmet, and expressions. And the problem is where his outfit is steel or iron. I think Iron Man's outfits are actually they're not even iron, and I don't even think they're even steel. They're like his own, like, special brand of metal. But anyway, I like to put little grooves and stuff in it, and I try to put more expression in the face. That's one thing that I don't like about Iron Man is that you can't really read his face. And to me, faces are so important. They tell a story in so many different ways of somebody's happy, sad, mad, depressed, anger, rage, yada yada yada, drunk, sleepy, whatever, you know. And so I'm trying to put a little bit of expression in there, and I'm trying to make it seem like his helmet, instead of like the face of his helmet being flat, that it's actually round like a cylinder, and it has grooves and indentions, so it's kind of shaped. So when the light hits it, it kind of shows that it's shaped with contours and stuff like that, giving the impression that there could be a nose here, but you don't really see it, you know. And that, you know, this part of the helmet is sunken in because it's shaded in, yada yada yada. And I think it just looks cool, you know. And that's the other thing. I'm all about stuff looking cool. Now the circle, you know, the light source here, I may change that, or I may leave it alone, or refine it. You know, I'm not really sure yet. So there you go. Now, as to why I'm drawing Iron Man instead of Wildcat, it's for two reasons. Number one, I'm now 24 pages into the Wildcat story, and the problem that I'm having is that, you know, I've got page 25 and 26 of Wildcat sketched out, you know, kind of where I want to go with it. And I wonder if I got it laying around here somewhere. I should. Okay. So this is the double page spread, 25, 26, I guess, of Wildcat, right? And so there that is. You know, obviously it's not the final thing. This is the sketch. You know, this is the rough whatever. But the problem I run into is I went and I started flipping through all the pages that I've done, you know, all 24 of the big 11 by 17 paper, and I found that a lot, like the first 6 or 7 pages are all right, you know. They still need some work, they still need some tinkering and that sort of thing. So that's understandable. But after the first 7 pages, I'm going to say page 8 through page 24, all those pages need a lot of work. And trying to work around my tripod right here. I'm having a little bit of difficulty. But a lot of those pages need a lot of work, you know. And I knew that, you know, because I would basically kind of get like a rough outline of how I wanted the pages to look, and then I would move on to another page for the sake of progress. Now there's other pages that are sort of 80% completed, but then I actually get to look at them, and I'm a little freaked out. You know, I'm not the best artist in the world, but I do think I have an eye for what looks good or looks cool, and I'm a little worried that so far my stuff's not passing the mustard. Now, granted, I have to cut myself a little slack because, like I said, from page 8 to page 24, you know, I kind of just, you know, rode with it, you know, get what little bit I could done, and then move on to the next page, knowing that I'd have to come back and finish all those pages. But having said that, there's a couple of anatomy issues is one of the biggest things. problems that I'm having, and then the other thing is coolness, making sure everything looks cool, you know. And so there's that. All right. So I'm a little bummed about that, but I'm not. But that's not really holding me back from drawing anything else, you know. So which brings us to another point about Wildcat, you know, the comic that I'm working on. I realized that on page 22, the way that page flows, it looks like the comic book's over. And I'm not thinking, you know, with page 23 and 24, those could actually be part of issue 2. Right? And so I can actually be kind of ahead of the game a little bit as far as issue 2, and I can have issue 1 wrapped up. So I got a lot of serious thinking to do, you know, like, sorry, you guys never actually saw none of that crude penciling that I was doing there, but anyway, but I have a lot of serious thinking to do, you know, like, let me grab my papers. Just be patient with me. Let me grab my papers. Oh boy. Where's that page at? Okay, don't judge me too hard, but check it out. All right, so this is this is page 22, and you can tell that it's very, very rough. But that's okay, you know. It won't take me long to go in and actually, you know, make it look pretty, you know. And you know, again, here's some more roughs. This is the spider robot eyeball thing coming out of the window. There it is approaching Wildcat. And I may have to like change the proportions a little bit to make this work, or I may have to leave it alone for the sake of just trying to get stuff done. And then here's his bandaged head, and the eye is going back into the socket. And writing-wise, the way that I'm going to explain this, there's an entity in space, and I'm going to talk about how far the light beam has traveled, and blah, 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 blah. And then here you see it activating, you know. And then there could be like a little blurb, or I guess it's called a blurb, where it says next issue, you know. So this is page 22. And that's where I'm thinking about like just ending it on page 22. And you see here, 19, 21. Okay. Shucks. All right, so, and then these 2 pages, right, that I'm working on would, page 23 and 24 could actually be the first 2, or page 3 or 4 of like issue 2. Okay, I know I'm making it complicated, but it makes sense in my head, okay? And been working on this, adding a little bit more details, that sort of thing. And I think I'm not going to get too hung up on the pencils on this. I mean, I'm still going to add more details with the pencils, but I think a lot of the cleanup that I'm going to do it when I go to ink, which I may use this ink pen off and on, but I'm going to use my I'm going to try my big fancy pigment liners. And everybody hates Sharpies, but I'm still going to use my Sharpie, even though Gazbot gave me a good tip saying that they don't age well on paper. But it's a handy tool. But anyway, like, so, yeah, just adding more details. And I like how the character of the fox is really evolving, you know. But that's also a problem with the way I rendered her in prior pages, so I'm going to have to fix that or leave it alone. Um, so yeah. So let me put these back up and see 22, 23, 24. Try to put them back in order here. Okay, I think I got it. Sorry if you can't hear the audio really well. I'm just kind of all over the place. So I got a lot of important decisions to make as far as the Wildcat comic. Do I stop at 22 and use the extra pages for issue 2, or do I keep going and go ahead and do the double splash of this, which looks cool. Either way, I think I've reached a point now where I don't think this is going to take me too long. I mean, it's still going to take effort because it's going to be lots of detail and stuff like that. I think I've reached a point now where I need to start going back to all those pages, and I'm going to have to start penciling. I mean, actually putting the work in. You know what I mean? So, let's talk about Iron Man. So why am I drawing Iron Man? Okay, for 2 reasons. The first reason was the Wildcat dilemma. You know, I reached a point where, like, I don't know what to do, you know? And I spent, you know, I made some progress with art and stuff like that last night. And I was drawing and all this other crap, blah, 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 blah. And then once I came to that realization that I was in a fork in the road, I kind of just, I don't know, kind of just lost focus a little bit, you know. So I really don't know what to do. So I'm having to think about it, but I don't want to be stuck in my head too much, because that's been a problem of mine, and I think it's a problem with other people too. Not everybody, but I think a lot of creative individuals sometimes get stuck in their head, and you spend more time daydreaming about stuff than actually doing things. And so so I don't want to daydream about crap anymore. I actually want to be, you know, productive. Which brings us to point number 2. You know, Wildcat was the first reason that I'm drawing this. And the second reason is, you know, to stay productive. The second reason I'm drawing this is I was challenged months ago by Will Avenger. You know, first he challenged me to draw Spider-Man, and then he challenged me to draw Iron Man. I don't know why I went blank here. That's pretty dumb. So, and I could never really think of a good concept for Iron Man. Partly because, you know, he has this expressionless face, you know. And then the other reason is like trying to think of like something cool to do with Iron Man that would be memorable or look really neat, you know. And I can never think of something. And today I just took a 11 by 17 blank piece of paper, and I wanted to draw something. I want to draw anything. I just, you know, I have a list of things that I want to draw for my portfolio, and, you know, maybe one day if I ever get to conventions and stuff like that. Let's see here. Where's it at? Oh, splash pages to do. Vindicators, Transformers, He-Man, Ghost Rider, Westworld, Captain America. You know, to name a few. So, and there's more than that, but that's just a list that I had off the top of my head, and I'm going to add to it, of things I want to do, big 11 by 17s by, But anyway, I was sitting there and I was trying to think, what should I draw? And then I just decided that I was going to draw Iron Man on the page, and I had no clue how I was going to do it. So I just decided to, kind of just wing it and then figure it out. And this is what I came up with. And I have to say, I'm a little proud of myself. Now, this isn't like the best Iron Man of all time, so I don't make no claim of that. But I'm proud of it because I know what my capabilities are, and I feel like, I'm up in my game a little bit here and there and that sort of thing. Boom. So let me talk about this piece a little bit. Like, the concept is, if I was writing Iron Man, right? What makes Iron Man Iron Man? Now, I think a lot of people would say the suit. The suit makes Iron Man Iron Man. But I disagree. Anybody can wear the suit, but that doesn't make them Iron Man. It's sort of like it's like saying that what makes Batman Batman is the fact that he wears the costume. No, not anybody can be punched like several times in the face, in the ribs, and have broken bones and all this other stuff, and keep fighting bad guys and save the day at the end of the day. Not everybody can go and ignore the fact that they have billions of dollars and decide to fight crime and all this other stuff to save Gotham City. What makes Batman Batman is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is Batman. And it doesn't matter if he wears a pillowcase over his head or whatever it is, he'll still be Batman. And what makes Iron Man is Tony Stark. And so, how is Tony Stark Iron Man? What makes him Iron Man? And to me, I like the idea of having an iron will, of a fierce determination to see something through impossible odds. And you kind of see that in the first movie, and it's an excellent movie, because he's got like a shrapnel in his heart, and he has to invent a device to save his heart. And then he goes beyond that. Then he finds a solution to get out of the cave in the middle of nowhere, to beat up the terrorists, the bad guys, blah, 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 blah. And any normal person would have just laid there and died. No offense to anybody normal, whatever. But I'm just saying that Tony Stark is an exceptional character. And what makes him Iron Man is that iron will. And if I was writing Iron Man, that's how I would write him as a character. And so the concept of this piece is, he is in this place of technology and something has went wrong. There's either monsters or a monster. The silhouette here, and there's a light in the background and stuff like that. And I think a colorist would be really happy to play with that. But here is I would assume a child, something like that, or teenager that needs help. Iron Man is helping them, and there's something wrong with Iron Man. Like, the power in his suit has failed. Something has went wrong, and he's having to rely on this metal beam, which I'm not finished with. I'll try to make it look more like a steel beam, like something that you build a skyscraper out of. And he's using it both as a walking aid and as a weapon, And which I'm thinking about showing a little bit more wear and tear and damage to his suit. The original concept that I did, which, shucks, I don't even know where it's at because I organized my sketch pages, that a thing like this actually bit his leg off. and he had to reshape his leg into like a metal peg leg. So I just like that. I like the idea of that, of him being tested, and all this other stuff. One last note before I go. Two, whatever. First of all, out of this whole piece, you know what I actually like the most? This stuff right here. I'm proud of myself. Pat myself on the back. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know what you all think, but to me it looks cool. And I wanted to pull out some Jim Lee technology stuff. You know what I mean? Like some Jim Lee comics that show him drawing technology crap. I wanted to pull out some John Byrne, him showing technology crap, or Barry Windsor Smith, or Jack Kirby. I think they all do draw excellent looking technology stuff, right? But I just sat here and just started doodling, and this is all from my head, and it's probably not as good or nowhere near as good as what those guys does, but I think it still looks pretty cool, and it puts out a really interesting vibe. I still have to figure out how I'm going to place my blacks and stuff like that in here to make it pop more and to make it look more spooky and mesh with the rest of the piece. But I'll figure that out, or I will muck it up. Doesn't matter either way. But yeah. So getting ready to sign off. I watched Jeff's latest video, and that was pretty cool. Like Jeff Lafferty. Hope I'm pronouncing your last name right, because I'm terrible with names. I've always been terrible with names. Because I used to pronounce Del Keon's name as Del Neon, and I used to pronounce John Burns' name as John Bry. It's like a weird. I'm not dyslexic, but like when it comes to names, I am in a weird way. It's just weird. But anyway, Jeff gave me a shout out on his latest video where he's doing a stop motion animated project for it's called Wolfheart, and that was pretty cool. I got tickled at it. I always get tickled anytime I get a shout out or anything like that. It makes me feel good. So I appreciate that, Jeff, for you taking the time to do that. So I just wanted to say that. And gosh, this is going to be a 30-minute video. Nobody's going to watch this turd. For those of you that sat through this, thank you. And for those of you that made it maybe 5 minutes in, thank you anyway. Let me get my little, there, just like there. Please remember to give this a thumbs up and a vote. And as always, if you want to help me out some more, please remember to follow and subscribe to become up to date to all my latest shenanigans. And I will see you all in the next video, which will be, what is that? If this is video 98, my God, this isn't video 98. Then video 99, oh, I'm really going to have to get on the ball. God. Well, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, I'll have a lot done. That didn't sound really helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.